A topic people are talking about a lot recently is paddle tennis. Paddle tennis in the UAE is growing so fast, and we're having so many inquiries on how to set up a paddle tennis company and courts. In this video, we're going to go through step by step on how to set up a paddle tennis court, discussing the price, the process, and the timeline. Hello, I'm Kate, and I'm the Global Strategy Director for Connect Group in Dubai. Me and my team assist our clients with company formation, PRO services, and golden visas in the UAE. Paddle tennis is growing rapidly throughout the UAE. Lots of my clients and my friends all play this sport. We also get lots of inquiries on how to set up a paddle tennis court correctly.
Teach me.
People want to know how much it costs, the steps they have to follow, and the mistakes that people have made in the past. If you're thinking of setting up a paddle tennis court, then you need to think of where it's going to be based. Realistically, most paddle tennis companies will be based in mainland, as this means that you have the whole emirate to secure your court. If you're based in a free zone, then you have a limited area in order to find space. Most free zones won't have the space for paddle tennis courts, however others will. You may have seen already in DMCC Free Zone in Jumeirah Lake Towers, there are paddle tennis courts on the water. When you have an idea of what jurisdiction you want to set up your paddle tennis company in, we can then guide you step by step through the process. The first step will be the trade name reservation. You need to put forward 3 potential trade names in order of preference, and then the ministry will let you know what's available. Once this is done, this will be given to you and your business activity will be mentioned on the end, most likely with LLC. Once the trade name reservation is completed, we can then move on to the initial approval. The initial approval is kind of like the government's check on you to make sure that you haven't already got a lot of companies open that you're not looking after properly.
What are you hiding?
Once the first 2 steps are completed, we then need to move on to approvals. You'll need to get an approval from the General Sports Council, which will take about 5 working days to be completed. Once we have received that approval, we can then move on to the legal documents of the company. In the UAE, the legal documents are called the Memorandum of Association, and this will explain your company in detail, the share capital, the shareholders, and how many shares that they own. Once you've got past this step, I will assume that you have your paddle court in mind. We can then reserve this and get the ajari that's attached to it.
It means a registered rental contract in the government system of Dubai.
Once we have that ajari, we can then register it in the Dubai Land Department or any other Emirates Land Department, so then it's matched to your company. If you don't have a paddle court from the start, we can first start the company with an office and then later change the ajari over to the paddle court that you find. Once we've completed all of those steps, we can submit everything together and generate the payment voucher. It will tell you the price of the whole license setup, and also there will be a 5% fee, which is called a marketing fee. This marketing fee is taken from the ajari we have submitted to the land department. What they'll do, they will take 5% of your annual rent of either your office or your paddle court and add it to the payment voucher. So be careful when you're looking for your space to ensure it's not too expensive, as you may get a nasty surprise. If you want to have a free consultation with either me or my team to go over the documents to be prepared, the process, and also the budget you need to take into consideration, then click the link below. Once we have the license, we can then move on to what's called the establishment card. This card links your company to immigration and will allow you to add your investor visa on. Once the establishment card is completed, we start the investor visa process. This will be a standard visa process, however, the designation on your visa will say investor rather than a job title. Once your investor visa is completed, we can then move on to what's called the labour file activation and e-signature card. The e-signature card is the card that will allow you to perform all governmental services such as adding employees' visas onto your company, making amendments, and so on. When the labour file is fully activated, this will grant you employee visa quota. Usually people will get 3 instant quota in order to add employees onto the licence. If you need more than that, we have to first use the 3 and then request more.
Give me some more, huh?
Each time we request more, the Ministry of Labour will do an inspection on your office or of your paddle court to ensure that you need these visas.
What do you need them for?
The standard government cost for this setup will be approximately 30,000 dirhams. This isn't including the approval cost and also the marketing fee, just because I can't guess that. That will be completely dependent on the ajari that you go for, whether it be an office or a paddle court. If you've already found your office or paddle court, the total timeline should take in between 2 to 3 weeks. It's not a particularly long setup, so we can get it done quick as long as you've got that ajari. When you're ready to start adding employees, you need to remember to set up WPS. WPS is the wage protection system, and all of your employees will need to be paid through this. You need to pay them the correct salary mentioned on their Ministry of Labour contract on the date mentioned every month. If not, you'll be blocked and then you will get fines. We can do the full license setup without the physical presence of a shareholder or a manager in the UAE. We will, however, need them to be here for the establishment card and obviously the visa process. If you apply for more quota once you've used your 3 instant and it's not granted to you, you can also use employer of record services. This is a good solution when you need to have people but you don't have this quota available. I have a client who is currently setting up this license. She has a paddle tennis court, but she also wants to offer like a restaurant or cafe alongside it. In order for us to do this, we need the landlord's assistance to split the ijari. We need the restaurant cafe to be attached to a retail ijari. Once we've done this, we can then get a second license with either cafe or restaurant mentioned on it and attach it to the new part of the ijari. When you've found your paddle court or office that you want to go with, please ensure to read the contract. There'll be lots of terms and conditions mentioned in there. Also, please check if this is a fixed price or if they can change it over 1 year or 2 years. Once your paddle court is set up and you have employees working for you, you may have inspections from the Ministry of Labour. Don't panic, they're just coming into your court to make sure that everyone there is working there legally on your visa or on an outsourced visa. Once your license is set up and you have employees working for you as well, please ensure to check which insurances you will need in order to secure yourself in the future. For the insurances, you'll most likely want to have third-party liability and workman's compensation. Also, when you have employees start working for you, please ensure that they sign up to unemployment insurance in the UAE. They can do this through the ILOE website or application. It's the employee's responsibility to do this, and there are 2 prices that they may have to pay. If their salary is under 15,000 dirhams a month, they need to pay 60 dirhams. If it's over this, then they need to pay 120. If they don't pay this, then they will be fined in between 400 and 500 dirhams. If you want to know more about which jurisdiction you should choose, whether that be free zone, mainland, and which one, I have another video which discusses the two, so please watch our video, free zone versus mainland.